'cause we never walk into the fire. We don't catch a slide from the young. Never run from the fire. We climb to the top. Never run from the fight all the way to the top. Never run from the fight. Yeah, we rise to the top. I'm burning up now, taking higher levels. I'm in a bad spot, trouble to my knees. I need a taste, sipping on heaven. You got me waiting, waiting for you. When chasing trophies got me ready, don't you worry. I feel the power of the champion. You got me running for the glory. Good to good, let this go. Burning up now, nothing's gonna stop me. I'm going faster, wanna break away. I love the way it feels. It's the adrenaline going all the way. 'Cause we never ever going down. You got me walking through the fire. We don't catch a slide forever young. Never run from the fire. We come to the top. Never run from the fight all the way to the top. Never run from the fight, just rise to the top. I'm on a rush now, winning, that's my focus. I need some ice, you gotta cool me down. I feel my nirvana coming closer. You got me waiting, waiting for you. We're chasing trophies, got me ready, don't you worry. I feel the power, I'm the champion. You got me running for the glory. Good to let this go.
Ladies and gentlemen, fans of the game and all esteemed guests.
I'm going faster, wanna break away. I love the way it feels. It's the adrenaline, we going all the way. 'Cause we never ever going down. You got me walking through the fire. We don't catch a slide forever young. Never run from the fire, we come to the top. Never run from the fight all the way to the top. Never run from the fight, yeah, we rise to the top. Up now, nothing's gonna stop me. I'm going faster, tearing down the walls. Burning up now, nothing's gonna stop me. Oh baby, please, oh yeah. Love the adrenaline.
We do go the distance. Give it up for Marco, Leo, and Wolf. Take it away, gentlemen.
Unfinished business. A promise to be fulfilled. A reunion world stage. A showcase of Filipino excellence. This is your grand finals at M3 World Championships. Welcome and mabuhay. At your service, my name is Leo, joined here by Mirko and Wolf. Gentlemen, how goes it?
Man, it is exciting to be here. We've been through so much here at the M3 World Championship, so many crazy upsets, but finally, it's PH against PH. I guess you can kind of say, welcome to MPL Philippines Season 8.5.
You know, that's crazy because we now go to Singapore for the rematch, and we actually have a dominant force from the audience, as a lot of Filipinos came up here at Singapore and enjoy the game. But not only the Filipinos, right? A lot of fans across Southeast Asia, across Singapore, come here to witness history again in the making.
Exactly, well put. The fans here at Suntec are not all just Filipinos. The love for Onic PH, the love for Blacks International comes from everywhere, and we would like to extend our love as well to the locals, the host country here, Singapore, and to the Singapore Tourism Board. When you hashtag a visit Singapore, what new experiences are you looking forward to? Visit at Singapore. And don't forget the hashtag Passion Made Possible to share what you're looking forward to doing in Singapore. We've run 2 World Championships here. We have made so many esports moments immortal. And tonight, we're gonna crown another champion, another Filipino champion.
This is going to be really, really crazy. But again, Onic Philippines and Blacklist International, they're so evenly matched, and the dynamic of both of the styles clashing together is going to make it a very entertaining match, maybe even going the distance.
Well, it has not been just this series, right? It has been a long journey, 9 days of playoffs, followed from 4 days of group stages, a lot of matches. In fact, for Onic Philippines, it was a dominant run coming up from the upper bracket. They went 9-0. In fact, 12 games total for Onic Philippines since this group stages for Blacklist International. After their loss against BTK, it was really an arduous task, but they still made it into the finals after 24 games, and they're looking really hot.
You could say Blacklist took the scenic route. They toured the world. They faced off all sorts of opponents, all sorts of champions from all the corners of the world where MLBB is huge. And so far, we've come down to 1. From 10 countries, only 1 stands. And we've learned so many things. These teams have evolved along the way, and here we're going to see them in their prime form.
Absolutely, and this is something we can discuss here. Onic Philippines in that upper brackets, undefeated, the dominant force, only losing 1 game as well in the group stage to Onic ID, their brothers from Indonesia. What does that say here, especially considering that Blacklist, they had a tough time going in, but it's time to take a look at Onic Philippines.
And is it actually Onic time? As Hatred, Lilarski, Marky, Kyrie, and Baloyski have been so dominant in the upper bracket, really showing up with so much strategies, I would say. Although there's a signature banana split that we always see from Onic Philippines, they still put up some of the crazy strategies, like the Natalia pick, right? Or maybe the Selena pick. And I can't imagine what they can still bring. After just 12 games, I'm still craving for more action from Onic PH.
It's leaving you thirsty, right? You crave for more. You see their own brand of MLBB. Real quick, another fact, if you guys are joining us just recently, Baloyski went through half a dozen games just playing this Rafaela.
Yeah, it's definitely his signature pick here. But what we need to talk about here in this composition is that they're just so well-rounded. Onic Philippines, this is a team that can play every style. Sure, banana split, that's their signature style. But as you can see from the heroes, signature picks all across the board, they can play everything else. Uranus has been banned multiple times. Rafaela has been taken away. They got, Baloyski coming in with the Selena surprising everybody. The Natalia, again and again, able to even go to the late game. Usually when we see a Natalia, it falls very, very hard in the late game, but he's able to bring out the best out of this hero.
It's crazy to think about that, because when you look at the replays, it seems like these mini moves that they are doing really makes total sense. They pile it up together so that they can win against their opponents. It's true that when they have heroes that are not scaling, they try to solve it by moving together, actually.
And a lot of people say this might be the perfect foil to the banana split. It's the Ubi strap.
Absolutely. Blacklist International with their official team lineup: Haji, Edward, Oheb, Wise, and the Queen. Oh my Venus. Now this team, this lineup, do you even need introductions, man? This has been the roster that has dominated MLBB for the entire year, falling flat in the international tournaments, but that's what they say. 3rd time's the charm here, as we are going to take a look at the signature picks and the statistics. One thing I need to talk about is Edward. All right, sure, Haji, Oheb, Wise, and Venus, they're detrimental. All of them have their roles in this team, but Edward, man, oh man, he had a performance worthy of that championship title yesterday against BTK.
And he's always called a role player from his team, that whatever it is that Coach Bonchan would want him to have, so that it will glue together all of these ingredients that they are concocting on the side of Blacklist International, he really makes it work because of that.
If Edward is a role player, Haji is the specific tool needed. He always is able to find these targets, and the stats, wow. I've never seen this so down the wire, down the middle. Blacklist, the last time they met in the grand finals, just plowed through Onic. They were just not ready. But this time around, it's Onic who's looking all the more stronger. Stats between them, look at the damage dealt by Blacklist. They put on so much on the board. And I'm guessing this was from their previous build when they first debuted, the Bane and Eve.
Exactly. This is like out of the 24 games that they played, right? So it's a cumulative effort. And You know that they have played so many games that they have also grouped up together so much. But then again, for the side of Onic Philippines, it's interesting that this might be the first time that they trump Blacklist International when it comes to the turret rate as well as the Lord rate. Because when we were comparing them back in the Philippines for MPL Season 8, it's always Blacklist International. Yeah.
And again, the reason why they've been doing that is they've been following their keys to victory and always injecting something new. They always find a way to do something else. Okay.
Exactly. And for now, in this particular matchup, their keys to victory will be perfect. The split. We know this already, and they really have invented this banana split strategy and have been working out ever since, putting him into the grand finals because of that strategy. And they can also use objectives as baits, disrupt OHEM. OHEM has been so good for Black. For sure. And lastly, you prioritize counter initiation as your compositions. And so far, they have been really good against RRQ as well as BTK with these compositions.
So they got to target the Filipino sniper, but Blacks International not going to let that happen so easy.
Absolutely. They also have their own keys to victory here. Number one, avoid overextending. We've seen them actually capitalize by BTK the first time. Map
pushing over macro mechanics coming up from the side of Onic Philippines. So this is a very interesting dynamic. Both teams having straight up win conditions, and I think that this is the time where you say it's definitely a 50-50 between these two teams.
It's a spike. They have to be aware of that level 4 spike on the side of Onic PH, but then Blacklist answers back with a more defensive role, because that's when the Mountain Shocker comes in. That's when they actually have their disengage tools come online. But just the same, you have to consider the Uranus is going to scale up as quickly. Maybe it should try to scale up faster than the Esmeralda, so they can do that neutralization. They can do the isolation play. So yeah, it's all about timing. Onic time, they definitely want to snowball. Blacklist to see how they're going to answer back. Here we go back into the map.
All right, I gotta say this though, Onic, they have just been that catchphrase, that the tag is so catchy, man.
Yeah, I agree.
What time is it? It's Onic time. I wouldn't be surprised if they have a watch sponsor later on for MPL Season 9.
Makes me wonder though, as we first saw that with the opening, right? But just some folks coming out in the mid lane, and we know that Rafael as well as Farsa is so strong when it comes to like poking.
Just as we said it, man.
We were talking about this, the Lilia winning that lane matchup. First Blood brought to you by Razor. Wolf, you were saying?
Wow, yeah, it's just all about the pokes, but in top lane, they already have the big poke coming out, but Dilarski.
Oh, a little too deep. Again, it's both teams playing off of different timings. They know that was the original plan, so they're playing off of their pace. Tempo going over here to Onic PH, but by a very small margin. Oh, my Venus looking low. Kyrie gets hit. Oh, he's going to be dashed through with a puncture. Pinned down with that bolas, and there you go. Thorn Rose keeping him in.
Again, Onic Philippines now with the winning lanes, it's going to be really good for them to look for plays on the map, and this is exactly what they need to keep on doing. Look at Dilarski. He's basically taking all the resources, trying to force Wise to be uncomfortable in his own jungle, and Onic Philippines, they can look for a fight here. Even though Kyrie is a lot of HP, they still have the resources, and there you go. Blacklist, they can't contest without the winning lanes.
Yep, 4 members here. Oh, up top, another one! Marky gives away his second death in 2 minutes.
This is insane. We spoke about this matchup, but I didn't expect it to be 2 solo kills in the first 2 minutes, man. This is going to be really good. Onic Philippines are just going to have to capitalize to this constantly, but Blacklist, they need an answer quick.
No, they're making All My Venus very busy. It's like a very hectic day for All My Venus, as he needed to kind of answer to the turtle fight, which wasn't really reset by Onic Philippines. And then because of that movement, he didn't have the time to actually help OHEM, and there goes the second kill from Marky into the top lane.
Edward gonna spot him out. Retribution on Kyrie, on point, taking this one. Turtles Lane brought to you by the STB. You boys are right. They're gonna try to overload the Queen, and just because of their sheer mechanics and the damage they're putting on so early, 3 minutes in, they're ahead now by 1K. Let's look at the items.
It's just building up now. And Marky getting the Enchanted Talisman before the 3-minute mark. That is crazy. And to think that he didn't even have have the mystery shop. This is such a good scaling hero. Even when it's a mage, it will put up some damage in the late game. Great wave clear, and with the Enchanted Talisman, he's gonna just spam out all of his skills up top, make sure that Oheb will not have a good time in the early stages of the game.
The thing is, right now, I feel like Onic, yes, you said it, overloading the Queen, but they're not just overloading the Queen, they're overloading every single member from the side of Blacklist except for Haji. Wise having trouble in that jungle. Venus going everywhere on the map, forcing something, and even in the 2v1, it's going to be Marky winning out in these trades. This is not good for the side of Blacklist, but again, it is that 7-minute mark that is all about that ultimate bonding experience, right? When Blacklist gets that power spike, that's when they start to roll again. But they need to be able to stay consistent in the early stages. It won't matter that 7 minutes, yes, it's a power spike, but if Onic Philippines can just get the huge lead, it won't go to Blacklist at all.
Maloyski got them Spirit Blooms. He's lethal. He feels it. Going cut back through the jungle. Haji. It's interesting how much Onic PH has rotated and how every time Blacks International might have been a second or two too late, which resulted in this small lead. 20 seconds to the next turtle. Edward getting pinned here by Dilarski and Kyrie falling Star Moon onto that wave. This is a very low compared to a lot of what we've seen in the playoffs. Right now, look at this. 3 onto Edward. He's looking for refuge. Oh, he's gonna let go of his turret down here. Oh, up top! Marky gets blasted by Haji, maximum range. He's fine.
He's fine. He was able to clear the waves as well, but oh my goodness, will go for the reset.
This is the Onic Philippines special, the banana split once again coming into game number 1. Look at how they're playing the map. They have all these winning lanes. It's gonna be hard. Even though Blacklist goes up, Marky, that is why they picked up the Lilia.
Yep, they didn't need the spike. Here we go. Second turtle up already. Edward putting a few stacks onto the 3 members here. Kyrie dashing on through the wall. He's just moving around. There's another air strike. Still Kyrie on point. Getting the second turtle of the game while Hatred puts up a lead wall.
Did you see how Kyrie just stands through and just use the reset, the factor coming out from both the puncture as well as the Phantom Execution, even using the Thorn Rose as a high frame source so that you will not be hit by some of the skill shots of Blacklist International. It's amazing to watch, and they also secured the turtle for that, and Onic PH really just taking over the map in the first 5 minutes of the game.
That's why they call him the future, man. Onic Philippines right now, just forcing their gameplay onto Blacklist. 2 more minutes, technically 1 more minute right now to that power spike for the ultimate bonding experience. But at this point, I don't feel like they're going to be able to do anything with that. Onic Philippines, they can just continually, basically stop the fights from happening based on the pressure they have on the side lanes.
Slowly something tells me Blacklist may have found the Achilles heel. Maybe by attacking mid, they can actually bear down onto Hatred, but might not be as easy a plan because of how much bottom lane was opened up by Dilarski. But look, there's movements up here. They're waiting. Oh, my Venus finds Marky. Circle Eagle. Oh, by Maloyski. They let go underneath the third. They're pinning down Oeb and Venus. Look at Kyrie from the back. Gets stunned by the Holy Baptism. Forward flicker by Hatred. Takes down Oheb. There's a fight down bottom. Dilarski taken down by Wise. It's a 1-for-1 trade across the map.
It is, but what we gotta take a look at is the side of Onic Philippines. The way they get the kills is they translate to instant objectives, whereas Blacklist, they're struggling to keep up in the objective side of the game. Onic Philippines, yes, 3-1. The kill board isn't that much, but look at the turrets. 2 turrets, 2 turtles. This is why Onic Philippines have been able to dominate that gold lane. The pure control of the objectives in the game.
And it's crazy to think that Onic PH, after, Marky really dancing with them. Yeah, it's crazy to think that Onic Philippines, after getting a kill up top, they put both Hatred as well as Maloyski back to the mid lane because there was a fresh kill out of that and they defended.
Oh, wait, Marky may have bitten off more than he could chew. Edward with the flicker forward ionic edge. Hatred punishes him almost immediately, circling Eagle onto Oheb. Not enough damage to bring it down. Kyrie puncturing on through. He's slashing. He's dashing. Kills him with the Phantom Execution. Down goes the Filipino sniper.
It looked like it was going to be bad for Kyrie when he missed that Thorn Rose. On the bottom side, Wise picks up a kill, and they are getting some kills on the board. But again, these turrets are going to be crucial. Look at the map. All the tier 1s taken down. Only a 2-kill lead for Onic, but look at the gold. 2,000 already.
Oh my goodness. And looking at Onic PH, it kind of feels like they're really putting it too hard, this win condition of shutting down OF. 0-4-1 on the Filipino sniper as Onic Philippines have taken over this gold lane and might be looking to control this turtle as well.
Oh, charge out of the Soul Blooms. There's the Phantom Execution still kept in check by Kyrie. It's off of cooldown. They'll put up a
Wait.
wall here.
No.
Oh, yeah, damage! And there's the black shoes. Marky does not want to bite off more than he could chew. They're blasting Edward. All three turtles so far taken by Onic.
Ooh, did you see that tag team coming out from Onic PH? They poked Oh My Venus, and that's great, right? Because Onic Philippines, if they poke Blacklist International, they have to go back. And then afterwards, Marky eventually gets there, again, forcing skills out of Oh My Venus. That flicker as well as the Holy Baptism, not available in Eternal.
But look at that, Wolf. Actually, Kyrie, he didn't go for the, he went for the OR axe, and instantly, guess what the second item is? It's a Hunter Strike for this Lancelot. Very, very interesting build coming in for Kyrie. That is a snowballing build. He wants to keep it rolling. He wants the kills to keep on coming.
He wants to make like their mascot. He wants to go fast.
You know, it might be that he is rushing.
Oh.
Gets
Kyrie.
caught. Kyrie stunned. Maybe a little too much. Bad execution. Iframes on point. The Kyrie killer Kyrie survives.
My goodness. The last time I saw the Hunter Strike was, correct me if I'm wrong, Albert actually played it, Mirko, and
He played that on Paquito, though.
that is, of course, that's one of the builds. But yeah, I did see the Hunter Strike on the Lancelot, but it is true. It's dependent on snowballing. So far, Onic PH, they're on track for the snowballs, in fact.
Yeah.
But this lead, 2.6k, they should not be comfortable with this because if you're looking at Blacklist International, there's decent defense on them through this as well as this Clint.
Pound Shocker set up. Blacklist International aware of everyone, and that's going to be Wise. Putting a few beads onto Baloyski. Up top, Edward getting blasted by Hatred. And in comes Kyrie. Hatred secures a kill.
Yeah, again, Onic Philippines is so good at splitting up the map, but at this point, look, they are stopping their game. Blacklist, even though you're looking at the kills, yes, it is still favoring Onic Philippines. They are still the ones with map pressure.
Wise.
But look, that is when Blacklist start to come free here. When those tier 1 turrets get taken down, a lot of teams struggle to get the tier 2s because of how good Blacklist International basically manipulate these waves, go for the team fights, and secure the vision in their own jungle. Usually when tier 1s are taken down, that's when the opposing team can just push in your jungle. But Blacklist, they know how to do this. They know how to open up a map very, very well. And this is exactly what you're seeing from them.
Just make sure Onic PH don't give up their mid lane turret. That's have been their focus, and just did Kyrie just baiting through Blacklist International. But then again, it still is very difficult for Onic PH to kind of push, because if you're looking at their composition, only Hatred can actually hit turrets. Apart from that, they need to go melee against all these turrets.
Baloyski enters a lethal death push, gets caught by a holy baptism. Kyrie dashing on through. He's used his puncture. He's found him execution. Blasts Wise. Haji answers back with a feathered airstrike. Taking one out on the way. Oheb fading out via Baloyski. 1-for-1 so far. Both teams disengaged.
That's going to be very worth it for the side of Onic PH. They got the jungler for the roamer. And one thing I wanted to touch on this before that fight came up. It's going to be really easy for Onic PH in these team fights. Why? Because all they need to do is target Wise, all right? Wise is the only one with kills on the board. It's time to take a look at the replay and look at what they do. Exactly that, targeting only Wise in these team fights.
You gotta have to look at Haji, the way he used the flicker to get out of the zone of Kyrie. And then Kyrie also trying to outplay Haji with the cornrows to dodge some of the feathered airstrike. Then gets out of the zone of the feathered airstrike. Such mechanics from, former, I would say, the rivals in the jungler role.
Man, again, you see from the kills, 5 total kills for Blacklist, 3 of them picked up by Wise, all right? So this is going to be the fact of the matter. Onic Philippines, all they need to do is shut Wise down. Oheb is so behind, he basically does no damage at this point.
I was about to bring that up. This whole time, we've left Oheb for what, 5 minutes now? I'm guessing his items must be in point, must have caught up, but Onic PH, they have a different plan. They're starting up this Lord already. Edward trying to get a visual. Oh my Venus poising up. This wall here, this push is dangerous. In goes Marky, eats a few wolves.
Kyrie.
Look at this from the back line. Wise taking down again, but Larky faded out. Kyrie falls, and they're still going. They're still deep in. Delarski dancing around Oheb, and that's going to be Edward flickering on out. They're not done. Oheb, he smells blood. He wants to take down Hatred, and they're far too deep in. They disengage. That was an interesting 2-for-2.
What a great 2-for-2. I mean, we know that Blacklist International excels in these kind of clashes, as they really have mastered this Lord fight, and that is what we saw in their series against BTK. They have really bodied BTK in these Lord fights, and so far it has been good. And Onic, interesting decision to actually go for heroes instead of focusing on the Lord after them starting the Lord themselves.
We need to talk about the win conditions coming in for both of the teams. Onic PH, look at their heroes. They are ability-based heroes. They are 1 and done, all right? They're a hit-and-run composition, whereas Blacklist, they want these fights to go a long distance, maybe all the way to that final moment. Look at their heroes, 2 marksmen and Farsa. These are continuous abilities, continuous basic attacks coming in, they always, you know? So Onic, what they want to do is go for the hard engage to the back line, destroy that back line, and back away, instantly go for the objective, whereas Blacklist, they want to keep on fighting.
He's so good with this hero.
Oh, there we go. They're going to come in. They find one. Edward gets jumped on, circling eagle. Ah! And the jump in by Dilarski. That's going to be the passion. And the holy healing, saving the rest of Blacks International. Edward's not done. He wants more. They know that they're going for the Lord. Both teams, they know that they have to do this very, very quickly. Edward putting a few stabs onto the back. They take down Oheb. Kyrie gets a dash in. Trading out for Beloyski. That's a win for Onic. Mount Shocker making sure that it's safe to disengage. Kyrie still pressuring Edward. And it's a clean go. That's Blacklist back on the map, taking a mid lane tier 1.
Remember what I said, prolonged fights is going to favor Blacklist International. Onic PH, with this composition, they need to go for the far lockdown. If not, Blacklist, look what they're able to do. They get 2 turrets off of a fight that was 1-for-1.
Amazing recovery coming up from Blacklist International, as they did lose an important hero, and that's Oheb. However, with just the decision making coming up from Blacklist International was just really good, and they disengage against Onic PH, heal themselves up, get away from the zone of those dominant sides, those anti-heals coming out from Onic PH, then fight again. And it really looked wonderful for Blacklist International. They want to go for top though.
Oh, Kyrie just at the nick of time. Phantom Execution out. Mount Shocker, he's not out of the woods just yet. Oh, Blacklist International, they've built up the confidence. I think they're ready. A very, very small gold lead. 800, you can say. That's Blacklist International starting up the Lord. Edward drawing a perimeter. The Enforcer, the Muscle, keeping all the other members of Onic PH down. Oh, Beloyski put down to his lowest and taken down by Wise. That's a 1-man advantage for the side of Blacklist. Haji, pop in the feathered airstrike. Marky looking low. Marky as well, flickering on up. No more black shoes here. Oh, they go in. Edward slain right before he can take out Marky. That's 1-for-1 so far. Hatred getting blasted here, and there's an Abir's passion. Wise coming up for the re-engage. That's a jump back. Haji, he's gonna look for one, blasted him. There's a feather airstrike to the face. Wise secures the kill. It's a 1-for-3 so far, and they take the Lord.
Oh my God, Onic Philippines connected in that, and the punishment was there for Blacklist International, and unfortunately Kyrie went for the wraparound, did not hit the Phantom Execution onto Haji. That's why Haji was able to just run away and punish him for his transgressions, and Onic PH have lost so much of their lead. Blacklist International taking the Enhanced Lord, meaning to say they now have map control.
This is the refined Blacklist that we were all talking about back in the BTK matchup. Blacklist, look at how well they're able to play. Onic Philippines, for the first few minutes, were the ones pushing their playstyle onto Blacklist, but they did not crack. They waited up until that Ube strat could work. It didn't work in the 7 minutes because they were so behind, but now, look at these items, look at these heroes. They finally scaled up through the farming on the cross-map plays, and they are the ones pushing Onic Philippines to play their way. Have nowhere to go at this point. They can only follow Blacklist tempo.
I put a name to this when we saw it happen against BTK. It was called the rubber banding effect. Blacklist was rubber banding, and they were just waiting, and now this is their game to lose. Look at this. Luminous Lord marching down through bottom. They are setting it up. Feathered airstrike blasted on the free 4 members of Onic PH, and they're going to take that inhibitor down bottom. Look at the discipline. Catching one. Dilarski with the Holy Baptism. Mid's going to get taken down as well. Oheb takes it. The Filipino sniper. Pew, pew.
This is going to be insane right now. Look, the 2,000 goldie for Onic Philippines, it felt like it didn't even exist at this point. 4,000 for Blacklist, they're cracking in the base.
Look at this calculated assault. Wise coming in, threatening the passive hit onto Marky, and they're still here. They are not letting go. They know that there's ults on the side of Blacks International, and they give full respect. Mount Shocker keeping him in place. They might try to look for a kill here onto Dilarski. He's low, down to a third of his health. Circling eagle by Beloyski into the back line. He's going to get punished by the immortality. Looking for Kyrie, he's looking for heads. There's a feather airstrike. Wise goes down. 2 go down, 1-for-1 so far. And Dilarski jumping on. That's going to be another one taken down. Haji from Beloyski. And it's Edward. He's running. He's buying time. Here comes Oheb. And Oh My Venus going to go for the fire back. That's Marky catching a bullet. Beloyski, he's still going to go down. The Filipino sniper gets ahead. Marky pops the black shoes. He's okay. 3-on-3 still inside Onic PH's base.
This is insane. The prolonged with Oheb just standing in that back line, and look how this fight is going to go again.
Oh, they're still going. Holy Baptism catches Dilarski, and he's still dancing around, giving him shields and taking down the Queen. Popping Immortality and the Nibiru's passion. Point blank, Marky secures the kill. Edward and Oheb
want
may have
this.
overstayed their welcome. They disengage. There's a heal from Edward. He's still pushing his luck. He's still going. Dilarski gonna dance around. Both of them still have
Oh
immortalities.
my God.
We get a reset.
18 minutes in, and what a game do we have on our hands. Look at the scoreboard. Dead even, 13-14. 2,000 gold Nito for the side of Blacklist. Now what Onic needs to do is, again, target that back line. It's very easy to say. It's very hard to do considering the front line and the peel from the side of Blacklist. Look at the items right now. What can you see?
Oh, well, I can see that there is Wind of Truncheon on side of Hatred, and they freshly picked up Wind of Nature for both Wise and Hatred. This was fresh off Wise, and this is perfect against Hatred as well as Kyrie. As we can see that Kyrie really would like to go for Wise all the time.
Goes in, circling eagle on to Wise. A false engage. Dilarski goes back with the falling star moon. Edward pushing them back.
Oh, this is Onic PH. I wonder why they bought that. Maybe they're just threatening for kills as Kyrie is just waiting for farm onto the other side of the map. But Blacklist International, they do have the advantage of all of the minions just pressing against Onic PH without the inhibitor turret.
At this point of the game, Onic Philippines, they need to micromanage so many things, you know? 3 lanes, basically constantly going to be pushing in with those super minions activated from those inhibitors, as now Lord spawns by TikTok Live. How are they going to contest for this? Blacklist, they are better in the prolonged fights, in the poke division as well. Onic will need to pull out some crazy fights, maybe even some miracle plays to be able to make that happen.
Miracle plays. We'll see if Onic PH is known for that, but Blacklist International, they're so composed.
Circling eagle onto 1. They might get it off of this odd entry by Edward, but they're not going to let that happen. Not so easily. Mountain Shocker. You always have to remember, Blacklist International has that one tool to know exactly where everyone is. So the wraparound, that isolated catch, not so easy.
Again, Onic Philippines forcing these out, you know? Like you said, this is what they do. And literally right now, 20 minutes in, they need to keep on forcing this because look at the build-ups in the waves. From the bottom side, Marky, oh my God.
Marky, Mountain Shocker, everything is a threat here right now. The range game on Blacklist International is huge as they take the Lord in the blink of an eye. Onic, no time to respond. Dilarski gets the Immortality Bomb. Circling eagle by Belosi, keeping Edward in check. Down goes the Esmeralda. Wise takes the kill. And right now, even Hatred suffers a death. Down goes the Beatrix. The Filipino sniper gets 1. Kyrie falls as well. It's only Marky left. The Lord and Blacklist marching into their base. Ladies and gentlemen, we have ourselves game number 1. Marky goes. Blacklist takes it 1-0.
Again, the Lord fight. I think that this game will go for either Haji or Edward. Edward was able to just make sure that Onic PH